Good morning, all of you. So today our topic is about Unit 2. So Unit 2 is divided into two halves. So the first one it is about the divide and conquer method, and the second one is greedy method. Okay. So the first half of the syllabus Unit 2 is from divide and conquer method, and second part is greedy method. Okay. So here when we are talking about divide and conquer method, by seeing the name itself, we are going to divide, and conquer is we are going to join or merge. Okay, so if at all we have a complex or big problem to solve, and if that problem is recursive, so this is important. If that problem is recursive, then we can approach the method of divide and conquer method. Okay, if the problem is big and if that is a recursive one, all the sub problems are just like the main problem, then we can call that problem as recursive problem. Okay, so for such things we can use divide and conquer method approach. So here when we can, till where we have to divide the problem, a big problem we can divide until, anyone, until where we divide?
Until base,
Yes,
until
until
base
base
condition
condition it achieves,
is
or until,
is solved.
see, in recursive we say base condition, but here we don't say base condition, but until the problem can be solved. The problem is in the simpler form. See, a bigger problem have to be subdivided until it becomes a small problem, and that problem can be solved. Okay, so until when where it can be solved and it is small. Okay, so till then we need to subdivide the problem. After subdividing the problem, what we have to do? We have to find the, see, you have a big problem. That problem is divided into problem 1, problem 2, problem 3, problem 4 sub-problems. This main problem is divided into. I have divided. But these solutions again I need to combine and to find the solution for the main problem. So this, what the main problem is divided into 4 halves, we call it as divide. Okay, and this, after finding out for the solution for P1, so solution will be S1, and for P2 problem S2 is the solution, and for P3 S3 is the solution, and for P4 S4 is the solution. So when you combine S1, S2, S3 and S4 solutions, and you should have an approach to combine this also, then only you can get the solution for the main problem, and that is the solution for your problem what was given. Okay, so when you are able to divide, okay, divide and conquer method is applicable only when problems are recursive. When the problems are recursive, and we should have some method to combine the solutions. We should have some methods to combine the solutions of sub problems to get main problem solution. And if you are not able to do this procedure, dividing and combining all the solutions, that means the divide and conquer method is not suitable that for that problem. Okay, if this can be achieved for any bigger problem, that means divide and conquer method can be applied. If this, any of these things are not able to satisfy for any problem, then we say that for this problem divide and conquer approach is not suitable. Okay, so it is suitable only for the problems which are recursive, and we should have a procedure to combine these solutions, all the sub problem solutions, to get the solution of the main problem. If we are not able to do so, then we can conclude that this divide and conquer approach or method or technique is not applicable for the given current problem. So that is about the divide and conquer method. So let's write the general algorithm for divide and conquer method. So okay, so algorithm, we write the keyword the algorithm, and since we are writing for divide and conquer, so capital D I am writing for divide and conquer is for C, and we are going to pass the problem. Okay, if small of P, if the problem is a small one, then directly we can give, then we can return solution of P. Okay, else means, see, if a problem is small, we are going to return the solution of that problem. Else part means, so if a problem is big, if a problem is big one or complex one, we can say. Okay, else we are not writing that condition. Else itself means that the other than small is nothing but big. So for that problem, what we are going to do, we are going to divide the problem P into small instances as P1, P2 and so on till Pn, and apply, and you have to apply divide and conquer to each of subproblems. Divide and conquer approach for each of subproblems. And what you have to return? What you have to return? Tell me. You have to return the solution. But that solution should be, see, you have a problem that will be divided into P1, P2 till Pn. So you are getting a solution as S1, S2 and so on till Sn. But again you have to combine all this and you have to find the main solution. So what you have to return? What you have to return? So you have to return yes. But this solution, what it should be? The combination of all the subproblem solutions. So that is what we are going to write. Return by combining divide and conquer of P1, divide and conquer of P2 and so on, divide and conquer of Pn. Okay, so that is what it has to return. So whatever divide and conquer, so when it will return divide and conquer of P1, if it is small, it will return S of P. Okay, so recursively it is going to call. Okay, and each of these solutions, whatever you get, the solution if it is small, it will be returned. So such returned solution values have to be combined in order to get the solution for the main problem. Okay, so that is what we are writing in the else part. So this is only a kind of theory. Okay, and then we can close. So this is the approach what we can say for divide and conquer method. Whatever theoretically.
Ma'am, else part, ma'am. Revise else part, ma'am.
Yeah, again I'll repeat, you just listen. See, whatever the theory I was telling you till now, the same thing we are showing it in the algorithmic way. In algorithmic way, what we are showing? So, algorithm divide and conquer for the main problem. That is what the first statement. If the small of P, if the problem is so small, okay, so this division have to be continued till where? Until the problem is small, which can be solvable for. Okay, so that condition we are giving here. If small of P, then we are going to return the solution for that. Okay, so else means what? See, if small, we are returning. Else means if it is not small. If it is not small means what it is? It is a bigger problem. If it is not small means it's a bigger problem. When it is a bigger problem, what we are going to do? We are going to subdivide the main problem into sub-problems. So that each sub-problem is a small problem and which is solvable form. Or else, If it is not small, again it can be divided. Okay, so what we are going to write, the same thing, the procedure what we were discussing in theoretical, the same thing we wrote. Divide problem P into small instances P1, P2 and so on. Divide the problem P into the small subproblems, instances P1, P2 and so on, Pn. And after that what you have to do? You have to find the solution for each problem. Yes or no? Okay, how do we find? So, divide and conquer of P1. Divide and conquer of P1 means instead of P, here P1 will be passed. So, for that it will find the solution. If it is small and solvable, it will get its solution. If not, again it is going to subdivide. Okay, so likewise divide and conquer of P1, divide and conquer of P2, divide and conquer of Pn. So whatever all the subproblems we have, so again they are again recursively called. I told you at the beginning, divide and conquer method is applicable for recursive problems only. When we say recursive, if every subproblem resembles the main problem, then we can write a recursive procedure. Okay, so that's what divide and conquer of P1, P2, P3. So likewise, so by applying divide and conquer, we are going to get the solution here. So once we get the solution for each and every problem, what we are going to do? We are going to combine the solution. Combine the solution, and that combined solution will be the solution for the main problem. So that is what we are writing here. So return, what you are going to return? Return the combined solution of all the subproblems. Is this clear? So this is the algorithm for divide and conquer approach. Theory, it is very easy. Okay, so just remember that main problem divided into subproblems, and that division will be continued until the problem is solved, and which can be in the solvable form. Okay, until then it can be divided. Okay, so under divide and conquer method, so we have so many examples. So these examples we are going to study each one in detail. So first one, it is the binary search, and then we have finding
Maximum and minimum.
max and min, and then merge sort,
Merge sort.
and then quick sort. Yeah, you have studied this?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. In data structures
yes,
you
ma'am.
have the, okay. So sixth one, Strasson's matrix, and then convex hull. Okay, so these are the topics. So these are all the examples on the divide and conquer method. So all these examples can be solvable by using divide and conquer approach. Okay, so first one, binary search. So if you remember the searching techniques, what are the two searching techniques you might have learned? Linear search and binary search. So can anyone tell me what is the difference between linear and binary?
Linear means it takes order of n to until the element is matched.
No, I'm not asking any time complexity and all. So just tell me the
Yes, ma'am.
basic information.
It will see. It will check one by
What
one,
is
ma'am.
sixth?
Linear.
Linear means one after the other it keeps on checking. So linear, is it a sorted list?
No, ma'am.
Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
mandatory?
No, ma'am.
Linear list.
No, ma'am. It's
Not
not sorted.
sorted. Not sorted.
Yeah.
Not sorted.
Since it is not sorted, only you go in the linear fashion. Remember that. Why I need to go in the line again, check one after the other in the line? I need not check, no? Okay. If they are in proper
Binary.
order, I need not check one after the other in the order, not to miss. Okay. So this is not sorted. When the list is not sorted, linear search we use. But for binary search, it should be
sorted.
sorted, and that too in the ascending order. Ascending order. In other terms, ascending order we call it as non-decreasing order. We say that is increasing order, ascending order. Okay. So that is what about the searching technique. We don't have any. Yes, mute yourself. Mute yourself. I can get the disturbances here. Okay, so we continue here. So we are going to learn about binary search only. Okay, so why and all we'll see in detail, because whatever the problem is bigger, if it can be subdivided and each subproblem resembles the main problem, if it is recursive, then only this approach is applicable. So it is applicable for binary search and it is applicable for finding max and min. Okay, so it is applicable for merge sort, it is applicable for quick sort, it is applicable for selection sort, it is applicable for Strassen's matrix, it is applicable for convex sort. Okay, so these are all the topics what we are going to study under the first part of unit 2, that is divide and conquer method. Okay, so let's see binary search now. Okay, so binary search, the first thing, it should be sorted. It should be sorted in the ascending order. So let's see an example for this. Say I have minus 12, minus 4, 0, 9, 25, 48, 59, 86, 108, 126, 132, 148, 156 and 170. Okay, so this is the list given. First of all, is it in the sorted increasing order or non-decreasing order? Is it in the increasing order? Yes. So let's see their indices. So first index, second index, third index, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So these are the indices what we have. Okay. So here search means, we are going to find. In the list we are going to find for some element. We are going to find some element, and that element, if it is found, we are going to return the index where you have found that. Okay, in which place it is found. So that is what we are going to return. So here the logic here is, so say suppose first thing I want to find out an element. X is equal to, X is nothing but the element what we are going to find. Okay, so let X be the element what we are going to find in this sorted array. Okay, so here X is equal to 170 I want to find. So let's maintain a table here. Let's maintain a table here for low, high and mid. Okay, so low is nothing but the index. Starting index we take it as low, and the last one we take it as the high. Okay, and mid is nothing but low plus high by 2. Okay, so every time the problem is going to become half. Okay, So likewise, for to do that purpose, so let's see here. I hope you understood the indices, and low, what we are taking it as the lowest index of the array, and the highest index here is 14. So what will be the mid value if low is 1 and high is 14? So 1 plus 14 by 2. So how much we'll get? 15 by 2. So 2 sevens are 14. So the round value we are going to take, so that is 7. So now what we are going to do? So 7 will be your mid. 7 will be your mid. So there are 3 steps for binary search. So what are those 3 steps? First, whatever is the x value, so we are going to check whether it is equal to the mid of that value. Okay, so mid value, if it is equal, then the first condition that we are going to check. And the second one, we are going to check whether this x value is less than mid. And then we are going to check whether x value is greater than mid. Okay, so in order to do that purpose, so our x is what we have to find, x is equal to 170 we have to find. So our low is the lowest index of the array, that is 1, and high is the highest index of the array, that is 14. And mid is equal to low plus high by 2, that is 1 plus 14 by 2, we are getting 7. Okay, so and 7 is now the mid value. So now compare, is the mid is 7. Okay, so A of mid, is A of mid, what is A of mid here? A of mid is equal to how much? 59. And what we are finding is x is equal to 59. What is our x here? 170. Is 170 equal to 59? So this is the first step. That is what x, whatever the value you are going to find, you are going to check with the mid of A of mid. Okay, with the mid value. Okay, so what is the mid? 7 is the mid. So A of mid, so in the array where mid is pointing 7, so A of 7 is 59. So is 59 equal to the value what you are going to search? No. So first condition is not satisfied. So move on to the next one. So first condition is not satisfied. Second condition, what you are going to check? X is less than mid. 170, is it less than 59? Is 170 less than 59? No. Okay, second condition also failed. So move on to third one. So 170 greater than 59? Yes. Okay. So when that is happening, what we have to do? What we have to do? So you are going to whatever is the list like this. Low, high, and this is middle. Okay. So we found that the x value is greater. So that means this is the range where you can get x. Okay, so now in that case what will happen? You have to rewrite the values of low and low, because the right side the list is going to shorten. So now the low will be changed to, yes, low will be changed to mid plus 1. Low will be changed to mid plus 1. So from here, this is mid. So mid plus 1 to this range it is going to search. So low will become mid plus 1. What was mid? 7. So mid plus 1 means 8. So now low will be 8. And what is your high? It is 14 only. What will be the mid value now? 8 plus 14 by 2. 8 plus 14 by 2. It is 22 by 2, and that is 11. Okay. So now what's happening? So our mid value is 11. Our mid value is 11 now. So now what we have to check? What we have to check? So check for the first condition. What we are going to check? X is nothing but 170. So first condition. So is 170 equal to A of mid? So A of mid is 11. So A of 11 is 132. Is 170 equal to 132? No. Second condition. X less than 132. Is 170 less than 132? No. Okay. Third condition. 170 greater than 132. Yes. So 130 greater than 170 greater than 132. So the list whatever we have taken. So the list whatever we have taken. So first it was from 1 to 14 and mid was 7. So since the X range is this, so we found here low is nothing but 8. So 8 to 14 range we have found. So now in 8 to 14 range also, what was mid? What was the mid value we had? 11. So from 11 again, this was the search area. Okay. So this was the search area. So now tell me, when 11 was the mid, so what would be the low value here? So high is remaining the same, low only is keep changing. So always low is nothing but, so this was mid, no, from the next element I want to find. So that is mid plus 1. So mid plus 1 means it will be 12 and your high will be 14 only. What will be the mid value now? So 12 plus
13.
14 by 2. So how much?
11.
26 by 2 it is
13.
13. So now here your mid value will be, mid will be 13. Okay. So let's check now again, once again. Okay. So the first condition. So is X is equal to A of mid. 170 is equal to, what is A of mid? Mid is 13. So at 13th position, what is the value? 156. So it's not true. So next one, X less than A of mid. So 170 less than 156. Is that true? No. And third one, 170 greater than 156. So it is true. So what's happening here? Again, we can find in the range where, so this is again subdivided into the mid became 13. So now the search area is still reduced. Okay. So at 13. So what could be the next low value here? Low will be mid plus 1. So what was mid? 13. Mid plus 1 means 14 and this is 14. Okay. So at index 14, what is the value? 170. Okay. So now our mid value also will be 14. So 14 plus 14 by 2 means 14 only you get. So first condition, is 170 is equal to 170? Yes, it is true. So we have found the element. At what index? 14th index we have found. Okay. So is that clear? Is that clear? So this is for the successful search. So what you have to remember here is, again I just repeat this concept by using this table. So this, whatever is the array we had, so first low was 1 and this was 14. We found mid at 7. Okay. So and then what had happened? So in this list only it could find. So from 8 to 14 range we found. Okay. Again in that mid was 11. Okay. So again in that where we have found, so 12 to 14. So from 12 to 14 this range we found. Okay. So again mid was 13 and this was the range. So when mid is 13, so your low will be mid plus 1. So 14, 14. Okay. So that is the only element where we got 14 and this is what where we have found, and the search is successful and the position it is going to return as 14th position. So in the array at 14th position I found 170. Okay. So this is the one. So let's see one more example, and not only this, we can also draw a binary decision tree. So when you analyze this, when you analyze, so we can write binary decision tree as, so whatever are the mid values. So first mid was 7 and then 11 was the second mid and 13th was the next mid value and then 14th was the next mid value. So this is the decisions what we have taken at every stage. So first at 7th position we got the mid value and later 11th we got mid and then 13th we got mid and lastly it was the 14th one. So whatever decisions you have taken when you are dividing the list into two halves, so that decision tree we can write based on wherever we are getting the mid values. So 7, 11, 13, 14. 7, 11, 13 and 14. Okay, we have just listed them in the order what we have taken in order to divide the list. Okay, so that is about the binary decision tree for the binary search. Okay, and then let's see one more example when the element is unsuccessful. So for a successful search, I told you one example. So let's take one more example. So when x is equal to 25. So x is equal to 25, I need to find in the list. So similarly, we can make a table. So table for what? We can find for low, high and mid value. Okay. So what is the low here? 1 and high is 14. Okay. What is the mid value? 1 plus 14 by 2. So 7 mid round figure value and take it. Rounding. Okay. So in the list, so now what's happening? So it is the same thing here. Okay, so now mid became 7. Okay, so the first condition what we are going to do, first we are going to check whether x is equal to a of mid. Okay, is x is 25, is 25 equal to a of mid? Mid is nothing but 7. Okay, so that is 59. So a of 7 is nothing but 59. So this is false. And then x is greater than a of mid. So less we see, no, first. Yeah, we see less, second condition. So 25 less than a of mid. A of mid is 59. Is 25 less than 59? Yes. So what we should do? So here the search area, whatever you are going to search, it is less than the mid. So this is the search area where I can find my x. This is the search area. So at mid values, since they are in the increasing order, the list. So whatever the element you are going to find, so you are going to take half of the list and compare with that first, the middle element. Okay, if it is not true, we'll check whether that is less than that or greater than that. If it is less than that, so the only in the first half we'll search. If it is greater, in the second half we are going to search. So since our search element 25 is less than 59, so what will happen? Our low remains the same. Low remains the same. What about high? So mid was 7. So now your high will become mid minus 1 because it's the previous value, right? So this is mid. So its previous value means mid minus 1. If it would have been the next value, we wrote mid plus 1. Yes or no? So now this mid minus 1 will be your high. So what was your mid? 7. So mid was 7. So minus 1 means 6. So among 1 to 6 elements, you could find 25. Okay, in the lower elements list, you are able to find. So 1 plus 6 by 2. So 7 by 2 means 2. Yes, ma. 7 by 2 means 2 3s are.
5.
Okay. So 3. So our mid value will be now 3. Okay. So now x is equal to 25. So let's check the condition. A of 3. A of 3 is how much? 0. Okay, is 25 equal to 0? No. Is 0 less than, sorry, 25 less than 0? No. Moving on to x greater than A of mid. So that is 25 greater than 0. Yes. 25 greater than 0. So now what we have to do? We have to find in the right side list. So here from 1 to 6 elements, among 1 to 6 elements, when we found the mid element, it was 3. So now again the search area is reduced to lesser than that. Okay. So when mid was 6, so let's write these values. So what is the low now? What is the low now? Because right side lists have been taken. Among 1 to 6, right side lists have been considered. So low will change now. So what was mid? 3. So low will be mid plus 1, 4. And high will be the same. So 4 to 6 elements. So among 4 to 6 elements. So this is the range where we can find x value. Okay. So 4 plus 6 by 2. So that is 5. So among this, the mid value will be 5. So now let's check that again. Okay. So 25 is equal to A of mid. Mid is nothing but 5. So, and its value is 25. Is 25 is equal to 25? Yes. So that means we have found the element at index 5. Okay. So this is the another successful search. So likewise, we can take a search element which is not there in the list and we can show that example as an unsuccessful search. Because when the element, if you are not going to take which is not there, definitely it will be an unsuccessful search only. Okay. So here I want to tell you something here. Analysis. When we are going to analyze, so here you are going to have best case, worst case and average case. When it would be the best case? When it would be the best case? So the element what you are going to search, yes, the element what you are going to search, if it is the element which is at the mid position, so then that will be the best. So in one search only you are going to get. So that is a constant time we say. O of 1 we say constant. Whereas worst case is the first one what we did know. Worst case is nothing but at 14th index we got 170. So at that time we took decision tree, binary decision tree. And whenever you are drawing the binary decision tree, it is based on the height. So how we will represent height in time complexity? As O of log n. Okay. And average means average of constant and log n means we say it as this also as log n only. Okay, so that's how we are going to write the time complexities. And whereas moving on to the space complexities. So I'll tell you the space complexities once we see the algorithm. Okay, so let's see the algorithm now for a binary search, which is just a iterative procedure. Okay, I'm not telling you the recursive one. So recursive one again I'll tell you tomorrow, and recursive recurrence relation for that also I'll tell you tomorrow. So for now, what you have to do is, so the space complexity is based on the number of variables. So whatever are the variables here, space complexity. So what are all the variables here? We are having the variables like for array n, first array n, low, mid, high, and the value what you have to search. Yes or no? So if all these last four variables, if they take one each, and n, if you take n elements. Okay, array as, okay, so this also I take array A. Okay, so these are all the variables what we have. Array is nothing but n elements, and all these other 5 are nothing but 5 elements. So then we can say n plus 5. So order of n only we can say. The space complexity for the algorithm we can say it as n. So why I took A, n, low, high, mid is, those are the variables we have used in problem solving. The same thing I'll tell you in the algorithm too. Okay. Okay, so if you can emphasize on the algorithm here. So algorithm binary search. Algorithm binary search. And what we are taking A comma n comma x. A is nothing but the array and n is nothing but the number of elements and x is nothing but the element what you are going to search for, or the element what you are going to find in the list. So for that what we are going to see, so these are the whatever the comments soon after the algorithm. So those are the assumptions or the preliminary statements before we start writing the code. Okay, so we are considering an array of A 1 to n elements in non-decreasing order. Non-decreasing order means, decreasing means it's the decreasing order, non-decreasing means it's the increasing, ascending order. Okay, and n is greater than or equal to 0. So n is greater than or equal to 0 means, see, if n is equal to 0, there are no elements in the array. When n is greater than or equal to 0 means when there are elements. When there are elements only, you can search for some element in there. Okay.
And 0 means no elements.
That's what I told you. When n is equal to 0, no elements.
Greater than or equal to means.
Okay. Greater than. Okay. So greater than 0. When n is greater than 0, when it has some elements only, then we can find the element. See here, however you analyze, if you write greater than or equal to, when n is equal to 0, what will happen? When there is nothing, you cannot search nothing, right? It will be an unsuccessful search. So however you design the algorithm, so all the conditions, however you want, you can take. Okay, so in that we are going to find x. If it is present, we are going to return where that is present, or else we will return 0. If it is found somewhere, so its index value we are going to return. If it is not found, we are going to return 0. So here, initially what we took, the array what we took, whatever the elements were there. So the low index is nothing but the starting index and high is nothing but the last index. So that is what we took. Low is equal to 1. So in algorithms, always we take array indices from 1 only, not 0. Please remember that. In programming languages only we take from 0. But in algorithms we take from 1. So that's why I took the array indices from 1 only. So low is 1 and high is the number of elements, maximum 14. Okay. And while low is less than high, always this condition should apply. Okay. So when that is high, you are going to find the mid value. Okay. Mid value means, so the list whatever you have exactly into half, we are going to divide the list. Okay, so that is what we call the division. Okay, so based on the mid value we are going to divide, and that mid value how we are finding? Low plus high by 2. Okay, so once we find the mid, what we have done? So the search process, I told you 3 steps. So what is the first step? What is the first step? That x, what the element you are searching for is that element is equal to A of mid or not? Yes or no? So that is what we are going to check first. Okay, so directly here this iterative algorithm is given. So for this condition also need to be included here. So in the textbook it's not given. Okay, the second condition we are going to check if x is less than A of mid. X is less than A of mid. So if x is less than A of mid, okay, so before this you can include this statement here. If, so you can write this statement, if x is equal to A of mid, then return then return mid value. Okay, so that statement it's mentioned there here, please write. And after that, the second one, x is less than a of mid. If x is less than a of mid, what? So the element what you are going to find is going to be found in the left side, the lesser values portion you are going to find. Always the lesser will be the left sublist and higher values will be in the right sublist. So if this condition is satisfied, so what we are going to do? So the high value will be mid minus 1. So that is what we are writing in the algorithm. I is equal to mid minus 1. And in the other case, if this is not satisfying, if this second condition is not satisfying, then what will be the third condition? X greater than a of mid. So else if x greater than a of mid. So if that is satisfying, so the list area will be in the right sublist. So that is in the greater value. So now here what will be the mid now? Mid is the mid value what you got. What will be the low value? Low is nothing but mid plus 1 you are going to take. So that's why low is equal to mid plus 1. And if this is true, we are going to return the mid value where you have found. Or else you are going to return 0. So this procedure will be continued until low is less than or equal to high. And once this is not satisfied, so then it will come out, that means in the entire list it's not found and we return 0, saying that it is an unsuccessful search. Okay, so this is the topic I wanted to cover today in today's class. So this is about unit 2, that is divide and conquer approach. And in that, the first example we learned about binary search using an example and also its iterative algorithm. Okay, so tomorrow I'll tell you the same binary search with the recursive procedure and also finding out the time complexity for a recursive procedure, that is recursive relations we have to do, and we'll see that tomorrow. Okay, so this is for today.